You want your name on the marquee? There's no room. There's no room. Steve got his name on there yesterday. You've all heard the expression herding cats. It's not that easy to tie up a cat and a dog and let them out in order. I tried it with Mitt once and he ran around my legs and tied me up and got me all fouled up. 54 degrees, 9:40 Sunday morning. Yeah, we slept in. New moon with the eclipse yesterday and 29.34. I think that's pretty close to accurate on the barometer. We need to learn, what about pressure? What is air pressure? Well, it's the gravity holding our atmosphere in place, giving us something to breathe, and also making weather. It all has to do with the barometric pressure. And there's a lot of it out there today. Well, actually, there's not. There's a lot of gradient out there today. So it's the difference in pressure that causes the wind. Air moving from high to low pressure, right? Look at Steve go. Really interesting sky. I got to kind of hide from the wind, so I'm going to grab a chair over here. I'm going to just sit down and try and explain how we read weather maps. Here's the weather map this morning. So every black circle there, that is a weather station, and the little arrow attached to it, that's the direction the wind is coming from. So look at Nantucket. You see it, 55, the black numbers, that's the temperature. 993, that's the pressure in millibars. So the problem with our nation is that we're stubborn and we still use standard. So now I got to convert standard and millibars. That's a problem. And the red number, that is the wind gust. So on the black arrow, you see those lines up top on the black arrow in Nantucket. The longer line, that's 10 knots. And then the half a line there, that's 5 knots. You add those up, 15 knots. And then the red number, 23, gusting to 23 miles per hour. Knots and miles per hour are another problem. All right, so as far as the pressure goes, you look at the hourly weather roundup out of the National Weather Service in Boston, and there's Nantucket, and then there's the pressure on the right, 29.33. So we've got conversions all the time. So 29.33 is equivalent to 993 on the barometer. And whenever I talk about my numbers on these weather maps, I'm always using the millibars, the metric system. This morning, it's a 984 low. Our Sunday storm, the 5th one in a row in 5 weeks, is all it could be. It is a powerhouse of a nor'easter, perhaps winds gusting past 50 near its center. And those are overshooting cloud tops on the satellite imagery there. So that's convection and thunderstorms. And this is that system that crossed the nation all week with all that snow out west and just missed. There was some rain around here. The coast of Connecticut got close to a ½ inch. The coast of Rhode Island got a ¼ inch. Nantucket got 0.41. It doesn't really show up on all these numbers. A couple of spots in Pennsylvania got over 2 inches. If this were winter, 3 days ago, we would have been forecasting pretty much a major snowstorm. Everyone would have canceled their plans, and here we would be, dry and cold, and really coming down on the weather community. How can they blow a forecast so badly? Well, weather forecasts change almost as often as the weather changes. It's a very complicated situation. Post-tropical, that is 2 posts. Cyclone Philippe is now weakening again over the Canadian Maritime provinces. After strengthening yesterday, it went down to 984 millibars. That was down about 15 millibars from the day before anyway. More than that. Anyhow, that strengthened yesterday. There's the satellite image of it yesterday. And then this big system kind of is eating it up now. So the post-tropical cyclone Philippe over Nova Scotia is weakening, and they're going to blend into one powerhouse storm. There it is on the wind forecast map today. I show this wind one because it shows the low pressure and the wind. When the red is the storm force wind, and yellow is yellow is storm force wind. I'm sorry. Rewind. There it goes. There goes our two storms out there merging. Now let's keep this going. See what happens. So the pressure gradient is going to relax after a windy Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Now another storm goes out there to our south and east on Wednesday. We've been talking about this for a while. It looks like this one wants to miss also on Tuesday, Wednesday. So we may go another several days without any precipitation. Anyone worried about their lawns burning out? Rex, you think our lawn is going to burn out? I zoom out like that. It changes microphones. The audio goes terrible. I don't know why. Zoom back to one-time zoom, and the audio sounds good again, right? Thank you, Rex, for that commentary. It's the 8th day in a row that it's snowing in New England. The top of Mount Washington is in New England, and it counts. Those ghosts are visitors to the observatory this morning. They don't look like they were dressed for hiking, so the auto road must be open, or the train or something. So I guess the observatory is still open. It's just the very top of Mount Washington that is in the 20s again today, and now closing in on 2 inches of snow in a week. So we're still behind June. June, we had 8 inches in the first couple of weeks of June, and we're only at 1.5 inches. Anyhow, the wind is only 28 miles an hour on Mount Washington. We're kind of between systems a little bit right now, with the old Philippe by itself up there, and this one just about to grab it. So the wind is going to stay up and strengthen. Away from the shore, the wind is going to increase. Every day that the sun comes out, the wind increases because it mixes up the atmosphere. And then when the sun goes down, the atmosphere stabilizes a bit and the wind reduces. So where the sky can go clear tonight, with a low barometer, you're not usually worried about frost. Very dry air aloft, somewhat less humid air down below, but it's very unstable. I'm going to compromise my audio again and zoom way out. You can see that very dry air coming in from the north. But it's so unstable, the heating of the day is going to cause cumulus clouds, and there are going to be scattered showers. Look at all the orange dashed lines on the backside of our Maritimes low. Those are surface troughs. So the pressure goes up a little, comes down a little, goes up a little, comes down a little. It pulses, you get a shower. Every time you get a rain shower in a situation like this, the sun probably comes out afterward. With the freezing levels so low, especially in the hills, you may end up with some grapple. The snow level is probably going to come down to about 4,500 feet, which is still higher than most of our mountains, except for the presidential range. So the presidential range gets some more snow. It'll be increasing high pressure as we get into Tuesday, Wednesday, and that's when we may see, Tuesday, and that's when we may see a frosty morning all the way to southern New England. I'm not expecting a frost at my house this week. And then it gets even more complicated. Shall we show the really big picture? Next weekend, here's our coastal storm breaking into pieces, threatening to miss to the east again. Oh my goodness, here we go again. This is going to be the 6th week in a row where we're talking about a weekend storm that may or may not come in. If it were winter, it could be snow. On tops of the mountains, it still could be snow, even though it's still October. Anyhow, that has the potential to be a really powerful storm, but one thing missing is a really strong barometer to its north and east. The weather systems are fairly transient. There on the right, there goes, nowhere near as strong as yesterday, Tammy going by way out on the right there. And we're still looking at that possible Greenland blizzard this week. And then I just want to show one more. I know we're pushing 10 minutes here. Weather is hard. This is the 500 millibar flow, sort of the jet stream up around close to 20,000 feet, steering currents. And there are just so many troughs and ridges, and the long wave trough tends to stay in the eastern United States. The long wave ridge tends to stay in the central and western United States. But going through those, you have so many short waves that it's hard to tell the difference. The short waves are the perturbations that come down out of the Pacific, bounce in, and then go kind of bounce through and over the Rockies, then down and deep in our trough here in the east again next weekend. But there are so many upper level lows and ridges that it's impossible to cipher what is exactly going to happen. So we're pretty much in play-by-play mode. As usual, right? Been doing a lot of editing, a lot of time-lapse lately. I'm trying to slow down a little bit. Edited and put out that Bastardi interview from a month ago when Lee went by, but a lot of what he had to say in that interview are still pertinent because the hurricane season is not over. We're going to have Tammy come by, and the winter outlook is there too. And he's going to come and be a guest at a Blue Hill Observatory webinar on November 7th, I think it is. So anyhow, I did a lot of editing. I'll just leave you with the setup to the Lantern Festival last evening in Weymouth. And I was walking through there before the sun went down, before the lanterns were lit. And all I can say is there was a lot of love. And the Bert Schwartz Band was playing a song about love. You can't make that up. I just walked up in front of the stage and he started singing about love. So, in search of love and a quieter T-Rex. What are you barking at? Uh-oh. Where'd Steve go? Where did Steve go? He's got a long rope on him. He usually goes over here. He's got to be tangled up somewhere. Have you seen Steve? Okay, I got to go find Steve. Where is he? Pretty Montauk daisies and roses. Steve! About 11 o'clock. Just walking around the beach. Steve. Been through the jungle. It's scary losing a child. Couldn't imagine having human children. Could be anywhere. Can't find the cat, but I found a dog. Have you seen a cat around here? What's your name? Want to go for a boat ride? Nice day for a boat ride. Kind of breezy. Nice day with the boat away. And the lynx looking so cool. So out of place here in Weymouth. Steve. Yeah. Easy going through here, isn't it? Imagine if he's just in there somewhere. How on earth? Lord, a little help. It's so beautiful. Noontime. This is really nice. Thanks, people. Most likely kids. Yep. Carry in, carry out. At least they brought a bag so they could dump it in one pile here. This is what I'm trying to deal with, going through this stuff. I think this was the old foundation for the winch that they had to bring the boats up the cliff 70 years ago. Steve, it's about kickoff time. I've been searching for hours now, about 4 hours, and I asked the Lord for help. And the Lord sent help in the form of a red shirt with a number 24 on it. Arther. The Lord said, follow Arther, and I can hear Steve up there right now. I'm coming, Steve. Janet and T-Rex up there. Steve, what are you doing? You going on walkabout? You love it down here. Get a little tangled? How are you doing? Out the door, weather and more. Okay. How you doing? How you doing, Steve?
Enough of the video.
Fortunately, Steve lets us know when he's tangled up, and he has allowed me out. And Arthur guided me, and you to Steve.
Arthur?
That's the man down there with the red shirt.
Oh, did he hear him? Stevie, where you been?
That was a long 4 hours. We just last saw him going in there. Been searching for hours and hours, so the and more was going to be all about love. And there's a lot of love around Arthur and all of us, and we're really blessed. So now, to the and more that I originally intended 4 hours ago. We're late today because Steve loves to go on walkabout. And we found him peering over down at the Lynx tall ship replica. Going meow, meow, meow. Hello. Hi. Hi. Yeah, nice to see you. Good guard dog. Just came over to see if I could make out the links at the West Augusta Yacht Club and the storm that's just barely missing off to the south. It still looks rather intimidating. Kind of chilly, but at least the wind has let up, and it is a nice evening for a huge gathering of peace and love and joy on the beach in Weymouth this evening, the Lantern Festival. I can't stick around to watch them be launched, but it's going to be great. It's low tide, there's plenty of beach, the wind is going light, and it's a great night. It really is quite the gathering. People come from all over. It's a joyous gathering. And we all get to go by Julie's garden, which looks beautiful pretty much practically year-round. I don't know how you do it. Always something in bloom here. Great view in the back of that house. Got a shuttle. The groomers came out on the beach, cleaned the beach. Nice evening. Everyone seems dressed appropriately. You feel the love? I don't have a tripod with me.
Alright, this one's another original. This one's called What Are You Thinking Of? It's on Spotify. My name's Greg Sword. It's all night.
Those are the lanterns. Wait till it gets dark. Spotify. I like it so far.
Brown hair in the long red dress. Just kidding, I'm not that into the blues. But she had blonde hair in the flower necklace. It says, every day she's getting restless. Love is on my mind. You can have it any time. When the reason around, cause your love is love is. Love is on my mind. What are you thinking of? What are you thinking of? It took 2 years, a whole 17.
Adventure, gratitude, water, wanderlust.
Even the weather's fake.
I don't know what you're saying. Who was that? Bert Schwartz Band. Bert. Great name. Dad's name was Bert. Stick season. Kidding. Still plenty of foliage to go. I